What's up, everybody? We are back for another daily study. And again, we are reading and breaking down The Power of One More by Ed Mylett. And this one is a fantastic one because it's a topic that's near and dear to me. It's the campfire effect, it's association, it's the power of proximity, it's all those good things. So if you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that like button, share this, and subscribe if you get value. But let's get started. So look at this right here. It starts off with a quote. He says, "Consider the words of T.E. Hodge. What surrounds us is what is within us. You can't possibly stay at 75 degrees if you hang out with people operating at 100 degrees. Through proximity, you absorb the traits, actions, and beliefs of the people you associate with. Consciously and unconsciously, their knowledge and ideas become a part of who you are. This is why you should seek out quality associations that can either directly or indirectly help you grow to be the 100-degree person you're meant to be. The other side of this is that you want to raise your thermostat and change your identity. You may need to say goodbye to many of the 50-degree people in your life. Yes, I know that can be a hard thing to do. Until you clear out space in your life for the right associations, you'll be married in relationships that outlive their purpose and now hold you back. I'm not saying that this part is easy, but at times it is necessary. The other way to approach this is to reject 50-degree behavior and raise other people's thermostats instead. This is especially viable approach when you're dealing with family members or lifelong friends when saying goodbye could be difficult. The bottom line is that you're a reflection of the people you associate with. If you associate with people who elevate you and make your thermostat rise, then you're on the right path to creating a new identity. Once you're armed with awareness of the trilogy, you can now move forward and adjust the levels of self-confidence you have to change your identity. Wow. Okay, so that's a mouthful, and yet I think it reads really well the first time through. However, we're going to go and break this down because the power of proximity is personally something that's changed my life. It took me from making anywhere around $20,000 to $25,000 a year to now having a 7-figure real estate business, having a multi-6-figure coaching business, and owning over $2 million of properties in my portfolio. So let's go and talk about how this power of proximity works so that ultimately you can apply it in your life and you can create the results that you're looking to create. Now, look at this quote right here by T.E. Hodge. He says, "What surrounds us is what is within us." I like to say this another way, which is your external results are a reflection of your internal world. Based on what's going on inside of you is what you're going to see outside of you. And this is why you've heard that saying in the past where, "Show me who your friends are and I'll tell you who you are." Your friends are a product of what's happening internally. If you allow for corners to be cut, if you allow for bad things to happen, lying, deceit, all that kind of stuff, I'll be able to see that in your association. I'll be able to see that in the people you spend time with. But if you're an honest, upstanding person, if you're detail oriented, if you get things done, I will also be able to see that based on who you're hanging out with. Now, you can't possibly stay at 75 degrees if you hang out with people operating at 100. This is so true because what will happen is when people are operating at a higher level and you keep going into that environment, you will be forced to grow or you will self-eject yourself from the environment. And so this is when you want to get better at something. Let's say I'm a new salesperson. I'm going to go to my building. I'm going to go to my office and I'm going to go find the best salespeople on the floor. And I'm putting myself right next to them. I want to hear the way they talk. I want to see the way they answer the phones. I'm going to be doing what they're doing because the more time I spend with them, the more through almost like osmosis, their habits, their behaviors will start to rub off on me. So when you want to level up your life, it's important that you begin to upgrade your network and not just spend so much time by yourself. Now, it's through proximity you absorb the traits, the actions, and the beliefs of the people you associate with, right? And this is happening on a conscious level. In other words, you're aware that it's happening, but it's also happening on an unconscious level, right? Your subconscious is picking up on their vibration, their frequency, and you are like a tuning fork. You're getting tuned by their vibration. This is why you have friends that you love hanging out with because you feel good every time you hang out with them. Good luck just seems to happen every time you're with these people. And then you also have those friends that everything that could go wrong does go wrong when you're hanging out with that person. So you try to typically avoid them. When they call, you're not so immediate to answer the phone. In fact, sometimes you let it go to voicemail and you're like, I'll call them back later. So when you're around other people, their knowledge, their ideas, they become a part of who you are. And this is why you should seek out quality associations that can either directly or indirectly help you to grow to become that 100-degree person that you're meant to be. Now, key word here is this is why you should seek out, right? Seek and you shall find. This means when you're seeking something, it's an intentional looking for. Seeking isn't just bumping into it and noticing it when you find it. Seeking is I am intentionally looking for this. Very much like when you're dating. You are very intentional about the type of person, the type of girl, the type of man, the type of individual that you're looking to attract, that you're looking to bring into your life. We want to do the same thing here with friendships for the sake of becoming that 100-degree person that you're meant to be. And on the other side of this, you may want to raise your thermostat and change your identity. You're going to have to say goodbye to some of those 50-degreers in your life. And this can be harsh to say. However, not everybody is equal. And when I say this, at the level of a human soul, I believe we're all equal. But when it comes to the marketplace, we are not all equal. For example, if I'm playing basketball and somebody is 6'5" and the other person is 4'10", you cannot tell me those are two equal players on the basketball court. If I'm getting into a boxing ring and I'm 130 pounds and my opponent is 240, that is not a fair fight. So we are not equal in terms of the marketplace. We're not equal when we start to set objectives on, I want to grow my life. I want to earn a certain amount of money. I want to have these sort of relationships. We now have to be way more discerning with who we choose to hang out with. And sometimes that means that we have to say goodbye to some of the 50-degreers in our life. And what's tough about this is sometimes some of those 50-degreers, you'll see that he says this, they've outlived their purpose and they are now holding us back. At one point in time, that person who's a 50-degreer today might have been a 100-degreer yesterday. But I've gotten the value I've needed to get from them. They've gotten the value they needed to get from me. And it's time for us to part ways. And this isn't easy, but it is necessary. And the other way to approach this, sometimes if saying goodbye to them is too difficult because maybe what if it's family? What if it's a really good friend? What if there's a reason you can't let these people out of your life? Then what can be especially viable is when you're dealing with these sort of people is that you raise the standard, right? You raise the standard, you raise the thermostat, and you give them the new standard on this is how we're going to interact. So the bottom line is that they are a reflection of you. Right here, he says the bottom line is that they are a reflection of you and who you're associating with. And if your associates are not raising the standard, they have to go. But if they can raise the standard, if you can raise their thermostat, then you're on the right path to creating your new identity. And once you're armed with the awareness of the trilogy, you can move forward. The trilogy being the association, the trilogy being the confidence, and I'm blanking on the other one, guys. Just go back and watch the last two videos I made. My brain is blanking on it. But once you're armed with the trilogy, you can move forward and you can adjust your level of self-confidence in order to change your identity. So let me know, do you believe that in order to grow, you have to let go of people that are essentially 50-degreers, or do you believe that you can hold on to them? And if so, how do they have to change, or can they remain 50-degreers, right? If a 50-degreer is going to stay in your life and you're working on becoming a 100-degreer, do they have to level up, or can you keep them as they are at 50 degrees? Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are. Again, if you got value from this episode, do me a favor, click that like button and share this with somebody who needs to hear it. We're going to be making videos like this all the time. Every day a new video is going to drop. So if you want to be alerted, make sure you hit the subscribe button, turn on the push notification, and I will see you in the next video. So stay blessed by the best.